Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another car review. And today we're in an EG hatch, the 92 Civic hatchback, and I'm freaking excited. This one is also not stock. Like usual when I review cars, they aren't stock. This one has the handling mods that you want. It has on coilovers, it also has a rear frame, subrace, and it has a bunch more. I'll put all the mods in the description below. Now, because it has these mods, it is going to handle the double 180 probably very, very nicely. So let's get right to that. Oh man, it feels super solid. It's freaking nice. Let me get out of here. VTEC. Oh man, that is so much fun. Now also, it has a rear disc brake conversion. The stock car would come with drums. Oh man, there's just something about freaking VTEC, boys. And because I say VTEC, this car is also not stock in that regard either. It has a B18C out of a GSR, so it's making a boatload more power than stock. Stock car, the owner said, it's making about 89 horsepower. This one is making dyno proven 169. So we're essentially at 200 cranks. So this car is making over twice the amount of horsepower than this stock car does. Of course, the engine does have a couple of modifications as well. It has a Skunk 2 header. It has a Passport JDM intake as well, so that helps the car breathe. So helping this car breathe out is a test pipe and an Apexi World Sport 2 exhaust. And it's actually not too loud either, so I personally kind of love it, even though the owner said, I want it louder. Which now I can see too, but that VTEC makes up all the goodness right there anyway. Try these brakes out just a little bit more. You have to step on that pedal quite harshly. Now, the clutch on this car grabs really, really high, so getting going from a start is going to be a little bit of a challenge for me because, of course, I'm not used to driving this car. And since we're stopped here at the light, this does have a Momo tuner steering wheel, which is a quick release, which I think is pretty awesome. Love that VTEC. You cannot get enough of that stuff at all. Now, of course, it's not going to be super quick in a straight line, but man, it actually pulls quite nicely. I don't even want to know what a stock car would have felt like, because this is pretty much perfect. If it had just a little bit grippier tires, it would actually hook. This, of course, just had a little bit of wheel spin in the beginning, but still very, very nicely. Now, revs at 60, this is of course also a closer ratio gearbox. We're right around 3,200 RPM, so little higher than I'm used to with the big burly V8s that I usually drive, but that's what this car is all about. Short gear ratio gearbox is also freaking awesome on the track, and this car just screams track right here. And no power steering, so you get a workout. Man, this is just freaking great. And I also love this dime shifter. It's higher up than a stock shifter, which means that, you know, you're right here. You will never miss grabbing this shifter at all, and that is freaking awesome sauce right there. Now, the cool thing about the EG is that I nearly had one of these, and it's still kind of dear to my heart because of that. I walked to a lot, I can still remember it clear as day. I saw a red one with a 1.5 liter engine, so it didn't have VTEC or anything like that. Of course, manual transmission, because we live in the Netherlands at that point in time, or at least I did. And I looked over, salesman walks out and he says, well, it's sold. And it was sold 2 hours ago. So I end up buying a Peugeot 405. Unfortunate, because I really wondered what it would have been like if I had a EG hatch instead of that Peugeot 405. Still love the Peugeot 405, but if you get touched by that JDM bug by owning one and having all these extra things that you can do to it, because even now, 25 plus years later, this is a classic car. You can get so much stuff for this, so much extra things you can do to this, body and engine wise. They make everything for it. You get newer stuff too, like that Scion FRS that is trolling us behind, but you know, it's just not the same. This is what it is. And this is also the heyday of Japanese car manufacturing. This shared the road with the Supra, with the NSX, with the R33 too, of course. This is just what you freaking want. Everyone wanted to have one of those big cars, but most of the people couldn't afford it, so they would end up in a Civic like this. And yes, I am definitely starting to sweat right now because no AC, no heat. Of course, heat's not necessary, but AC definitely. But I don't care, because this is just freaking heaven to me. Just give it a little bit of extra sauce out of the corner. Man, this is just freaking awesome. I love this thing. It's probably also like coming out of a V8 kind of guy. Why do you love VTEC so much? Why don't you own one yourself? And I still, every time I drive a car like this, I ask myself that question. Because this is just freaking amazing to me. When you go to the looks of the car, it's a 90 bubbly goodness. So you just gotta love it. At least from my perspective, you gotta. That same goes over in the interior. Now, of course, these are stock gauges. You get like the mile an hour to 130 miles an hour. The red line is at 6,500. Yeah, it revs quite a bit higher than that. I don't know what the top end is, but do you really care about cars like these on top end? No, because this would slay at a track. Yeah, the steering is heavy and unassisted, but it also makes it direct, which I absolutely love. And even driving it lazy, not hitting VTEC, you'd think, oh, it's not gonna have enough torque to keep itself going, but it does. And another thing, this car weighs 2,500 pounds with me and the owner in it. So stock, without anyone, it's right at 2,000. So all that power that you get, the 169 wheel horsepower and about 120, 130 wheel torque, it gets stuff done. Of course, when you talk interior, you also have to talk about the seats. They are actually out of a GSR. The owner lucked out because he just found them sitting around in the pickup ball. Was like, what, are you serious? Okay, let me just go ahead and grab these for my EG. Freaking great. And they're also not leather, they're cloth. They have plenty of side support, and I like them. This is very, very comfortable to me. It's almost like you get sucked into a seat like this. Versus a leather, you kind of sit on top unless you get that Alcantara. This, freaking amazing. So when we talk about a conclusion, this is one of the greats in my book. Even though it is kind of like the entry level into that JDM life, I freaking love it. And the conclusion, oh my goodness, man. This is what life is supposed to be like in a car like this. Anthony, thank you so much for letting me review your car. This is an amazing experience, I kid you not. It almost makes me wish I made that happen back in the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you on the flip side. And I freaking love, I say freaking a lot, don't I? That's it. The word of this review is definitely going to be friggin'. Yeah, just such a freaking great feel, a car like this, you know. Drive so many new cars, but they just don't.
It's not
like that. That's cool too. But it's not the same experience.
Yeah, you don't get that. You don't get the rawness.
Yeah, and also, you know, it's not fast. It's okay, but you feel like you're in the fastest thing in the world. Like that, you get on a V8, it's like effortless, you know? It's almost like it's not trying in here. If you do not do work, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this stuff.
I was driving Jose's Supra the other day, and I got back in my car, and I was like, I can't drive this thing.
Yeah, every time I get in my car, sometimes like my shifter, it's not sloppy, but it's not precise.
Yeah.
You know? So you get into these cars where the shifter is super, like, slicks into place, like the Camaro SS that I drove. Super nice. I'm having issues, you know? It's just, oh man, I have to roll my gears instead of, you know, gliding in the gear easily. And also the power. Get on my car now and the power's just not there. And I go, damn it. You know, I love my car. I will never get rid of it. But better believe it that if my channel were ever go somewhere, I'll build my Grand Marquis first because that's more unique. But the Mustang, it would get performance mods for sure. I just don't know if I would want to do anything to the engine because it's slow now, and if I want to do something to the engine, I'll put a supercharger on it, 450 wheel.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's still 450 wheel horsepower. That's what Leon Supra had made just at 4. So it would be kind of comparable to that, which is still an amazing amount of horsepower. It's still an amazing amount of fun. But in the end, you know, you got a Coyote rolling up next to you. You just put all that extra weight on the nose, which is already nose heavy. And that Coyote has a couple of bolt-on mods. It's gonna be freaking similar.
Yeah, we when Jose and I went to a meet, there was a couple Mustangs that ran on the dyno when I got this dynoed, and the, like 2018 5.0 was making like 432 wheels stock, dude.
Yeah, and what are they rated at? Like four, I think 460 now.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, they are underrated. It's like the 70s are back. Actually, the 60s, the 70s, everything went to pot.
Well, it's the same thing with the new Supra. They said that it was only going to make, what, 320 crank, and it's actually making like 320 to the wheels.
No, I love it. I love it. It's like the Cobra back in the day, the 03 to 04. Yeah, it's just making 390, 390.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the wheels.
Well, they did the same thing in Japan with the Skyline and the Supra. They had a gentleman's agreement.
No, that's just 280 horsepower, guys.
Yeah.
We promise.
Yeah, yep, yep. When it was really like 320, 330.
That's just, I love that kind of crap. The car manufacturers going, yeah, this is the power it makes. Here are the dyno sheets. Government, are you good? Yes, we're good. And also, I think they're all limited to 180k kilometers an hour, which, you know, let me just tune this away. Here we go. One gun midnight. But this one, I should have a boosted S2K, which talked about short gear ratios. It was almost like a motorcycle there. Yeah, not that quick, but because you have the boost. It's already short, but then boost, you just get through those gears so quick, and it sounded amazing. And that exhaust cam, it's just, yeah. I probably need to edit because tomorrow I should be reviewing a Fox body, but I looked at the weather. It's gonna rain, and it's Father's Day.
Well, it's supposed to rain all next week.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Yeah.
I want to do car stuff again. Get wrecked. Nope. And you probably follow me on Instagram, and I posted that one thing where, you know, I don't see my parents at all, and it just puts me in such a negative mindset sometimes. This turns my frown upside down every time. Cars is just my escape from that reality.
Are they still,
I don't see my parents enough.
They're still back in the Netherlands?
Oh yeah, I know my parents, my family, my friends, everyone. And that's the hardest thing for me. And I say, well, if my YouTube channel gets big and it would start creating revenue, which, no, that's what it would do if it becomes big and successful, I want to mod my cars, but the first thing that I will do is put money aside so I can go to the Netherlands every year. Because family is number one. And then actually the second thing that I would do is save way more for my kids' education because I don't want them to worry. And then I will mod my cars.
How many kids you got?
2.
Boys, girls?
I got a girl, the oldest, who's 8, and then I got a boy who's going to be turning 6 in August. So 2 kids.
Yeah, I got
That perfect little family.
I got a boy and a girl too.
Ah, cool.
And my daughter just turned 1, and my son will be 3 in November.
Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, both my kids came home in the Mustang.
Nice.
First car that they went into, Mustang. I think they went to the hospital before they were born in my Grand Marquis, so it's both V8s. Yeah, here, this is where I put the Supra, so I'll just... Oh, Jesus, wasn't dot all the way through. Quick release too, right?
Yep.
I've never done that, can I?
Yeah. So you just gotta push this button and then pull on the.
So I see Evan Shanks. Oh, no. Give me 1 second here. That's what they do all the time. Look, I'm driving without a steering wheel. Oh crap, there's something on the road! I swear most of those people have a...
Yeah, just push it right back on. Yep.
That's dope, though. It's like the perfect way to secure your car from being stolen, unless a thief happens to have one of these things laying around.
So here's the beauty of this. So this is a hub lock, so that goes over it and you lock it. You can't put another steering wheel on.
Dude, that is so sick. Yeah. Then you have to have a freaking tow truck.
Yep.